So we just got some breaking news and we are about to dive in and talk about what is going on over at DC. What's going on, everybody? My name is Josie. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be discussing some breaking news that has just barely dropped, and the only reason why I knew about this is because I saw it on my feed that Henry Cavill tweeted something about Superman, and I did not know if it was real or not. Then I went on to Deadline to make sure it was actually true, and it's sad to say, but it's official. Henry Cavill is officially out of the Superman role. This is a tweet that Henry Cavill put out. I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will after all not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October, prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. For those who have been by my side throughout the years, we can mourn for a bit, but we must remember, Superman is still around. Everything he stands for still exists, and the examples he sets for us are still there. My turn wearing the cape has passed, but what Superman stands for never will. It's been a fun ride with you all. Onward and upward. I know this is going to be sounding like bad news to a lot of people. For those who are fans of Henry Cavill as Superman, I know it's going to hit them deep, mostly because we just barely saw him come back in the post-credit scene for Black Adam as Superman. And as somebody that really never was attached to Henry Cavill's Superman, just having the excitement, just seeing Henry Cavill come back as Superman, even though I was never really attached to his Superman, there was a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Some kind of happiness that actually brought out of me, and a little bit more excitement of seeing Henry Cavill come back and don the cape, but also possibly teasing what we could possibly see in the future between Black Adam and Superman. That is something that actually got me a little bit more excited, seeing how Black Adam is doing. We figured it may or may not have had the best shot of getting a sequel, or we might not be able to see Superman fight Black Adam. But this comes to a bit of a shock. To me, it doesn't really come that much of a shock after the news that we had a little while ago regarding the cancellation of Wonder Woman 3 and what the plans are for the DC universe moving forward. However, there is, at least in my eyes, one positive thing, and that is the fact that we still have Ben Affleck in the DC universe, except, behind the camera a lot more than in front of the camera as the Cape Crusader. This is what is being reported on Deadline. Effective tonight, DC bosses Peter Safran and James Gunn have officially made known their plans for their first movie under their regime. It's Superman, a script that the latter is currently working on about the Man of Steel's early days. It's not an origin story, however, a new actor will be sought out to play Superman. As for Henry Cavill, while the bosses at DC would like to work with him, he's been informed he is not part of the next iteration of Superman, given its new direction. Meanwhile, we hear some sources familiar to the scene that James Gunn and Peter Safran are in talks with Ben Affleck to stay in the DC universe, but as a director, which probably means that he's going to be directing I'm just going to be assuming he's going to be directing a new Batman movie, because I think that is where his heart is at the moment. James Gunn and Peter Safran plan to unveil their full DC plan in January, but are taking meetings with various talents connected to the universe to share their vision as they sort out a more cohesive plan for the comic book brand, stretching across all mediums. In a tweet tonight, James Gunn writes, "Peter and I have a DC slate ready to go, which means we couldn't be more over the moon about. We'll be able to share this exciting information about our first projects at the beginning of the new year. Among those on the slate is Superman. The initial stages of our story will be focusing on earlier parts of Superman's life, so the character will not be played by Henry Cavill. But we just have great meetings with Henry, and we're big fans, and we talked about a number of exciting possibilities to work together in the future, added Gunn. So, there are some things, there's a couple of things that we could have taken out of this. Personally, for me, I saw this. I think the writing on the wall was when they announced the cancellation of Wonder Woman. I speculated that they would do a full reboot of the DC universe because, as somebody that has had some hit and misses with this universe, we can all agree that not all of the films have been winners. Whether they be with the critics, fans, box office, it has not been a healthy road for this universe. But what I did mention on that video of Wonder Woman 3 getting canceled is that this universe needed to have this reboot because this has been a very divisive universe, to say the least, because they, back in 2014, right before Marvel announced their phase 3 plans, DC, the old regime, announced a plan of these films that were supposed to come out. We had Batman v Superman, The Flash, we had Wonder Woman, Green Lantern Corps. We had a whole ton of films slated that didn't even come out. When Batman v Superman came out and it didn't get the best word of mouth, that is when they started to shape the whole universe and started throwing things at the wall to make sure what worked would be on that, what worked would have been on the slate, and what didn't was going to be removed. It's about to be almost 7 years. I think it's been 7 years since we had the announcement that The Flash was supposed to come out in 2018. Here we are almost 5 years later, and it's finally possibly coming out in June. They just bumped it up about a week or two just to get out of the way of Indiana Jones. But there has just been so much regarding this whole universe, regarding what was supposed to happen, what was on the slate and what isn't on the slate anymore. And that was very concerning because it just felt that once something worked in a movie, then they were going to focus on that a lot more than what they already had planned. For example, Harley Quinn was a huge standout in Suicide Squad. So what happened? They were announcing 3 different Harley Quinn movies. One just a Birds of Prey, one with the Joker, and I'm pretty sure there was another one announced. Oh, Gotham City Sirens. And 2 of those were canceled. One of them we had, which I actually did enjoy for the most part. I really enjoyed Birds of Prey. I thought that movie was a lot of fun. Did it need to be rated R? Absolutely not. But it was just more of those things of, let's throw things at a dartboard and see what hits the bullseye. And what hits the bullseye is what we're going to be doing with this universe. There wasn't really a cohesive plan. They had a plan, but when the first movie that they really wanted to branch out with in this universe, when that didn't work as they planned it to be, then they started to be very reactionary by not only just changing what Suicide Squad, the 2016 one, was supposed to be. They added a bunch of different reshoots after Batman v Superman came out and changed the film completely. Because when you look at the first trailer for Suicide Squad, the David Ayer Suicide Squad, and then you look at the other trailers, they look completely different than what that first trailer was that we had at San Diego Comic-Con. I've always been on the side of, you need to reboot this franchise because there's so much baggage in this movie, in this universe, that you need to get rid of. And if you're just going to be going back to the same people that you've had, then that's going to be a little bit more of a stigma to some people. What I really enjoy about what I feel like this is going to be happening is that they're completely rebooting it from what it looks like. I'm just assuming that by what James Gunn said is that they're going to be focusing more on the earlier life of Superman. I feel like they're going to be going in that Smallville route, maybe a little bit more in the college years of Superman, maybe, but I don't think they're going to be going in the same route that they've been going in for the past couple of years or ever since the first Superman movie. I feel like there is a lot that you can see some negativity in this report, but I think the way that they're going to be shaping out this universe, I think there is a lot more positive in this piece of news than one originally would have thought. But I feel like moving forward, there is going to be a lot of goodwill when it comes to this universe. I think what Peter Safran and James Gunn are going to be developing is going to be something that maybe everybody could be getting around to. Right now, I know a lot of people are really heartbroken that Henry Cavill isn't coming back as Superman, but I feel like with this regime, what they're doing between not just Peter Safran and James Gunn, but with the whole Warner Brothers executives, I think this is going to be going in a positive route. Now, that's what I thought when they first announced their first slate back in 2014. Now, I'm pretty sure half of the things that they've announced. So, when Black Beetle comes out and Blue Beetle comes out, when The Flash comes out, when Aquaman 2 comes out, when Shazam 2 comes out, that's going to be the last of this old regime, and we're going to be moving past Zachary Levi as Shazam. We're going to be moving past Jason Momoa as Aquaman, which I know I wasn't attached to Henry Cavill as Superman, but I am really attached to the whole Shazam crew. I really love that crew, and I really love Aquaman. Say what you will about that first Aquaman. I thought it was fun at the end of the day. I think Jason Momoa is a fantastic Aquaman. I think he made the character cool, but since this is the last time that this 2023 is going to be the last year that we're going to be seeing these characters on screen. It's going to be a bittersweet year for a lot of DC fans, but I personally, for me, I'm very excited to see what the future holds. I know everybody is going to have something negative to say about this, but believe you and me, I think this is going to be the best thing that has happened. And I just hope that everybody is able to see some kind of positivity come out of this. I'm seeing a lot of it having a new DC universe. I'm very excited to see what their slate is going to be when they announce it in January. I don't know if they're going to be announcing the whole full 10-year plan, but I'm very excited to see what's going to be on the docket, what isn't going to be on the docket. But those are my thoughts on this developing news. What are your guys' thoughts? Are you sad about this news? I'm pretty sure you are. Or are you excited about what the future holds for DC? Go ahead and drop those thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video and want to see more like these, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more. Click that bell notification so you get notified every single time that a video pops up. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side.